Say, man, without a shadow of a doubt, I want to welcome you to the crunkest show in social media history, the What's Room. I got my man in the building, Dr. Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetra K, and I am the 5-star general. We starting tonight without the music. I'm having not even a computer problem. I'm my computer, so we couldn't get around that. But I'm gonna let my man Donovan get us up to date on the news. What's going on, my friend?
Well, the good thing is it's hump day, so we're making it halfway through the week. All you Negroes that have a job right now or don't have a job and you're trying to scam the system, Master Biden says that y'all gonna have to take the job that we think is suitable for y'all. So if y'all turning down any jobs that come down, even though you got a master's degree or you a PhD doctor, if you don't take that Burger King job that's offered to you, we gonna cut your benefits off. So, I mean, this administration is showing us as Black people who they are. Very, very big things. And also in the news today, a big bombshell. Well, not really a bombshell for those of us that have been telling you guys what has been happening. How many of you guys remember former NFL linebacker and future Hall of Famer Simone Sanders? Remember, she's the one that saved Biden's life from the dairy product guy and put her life on the line and just tackled that protester, whoever that person was, like a Hall of Fame linebacker. I mean, they were even comparing her to Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor. Well, she put out an op piece today saying how much she likes her life, and she was a little disappointed that she wasn't offered the job, while a white woman who didn't do anything for Joe Biden got the job. And now the press secretary for Joe Biden has said that she is going to leave the job in a year because she wants to spend time with our kids. I got a question. Is anybody that works in the federal government at a staff position for the White House, does anybody have any longevity? Why do they apply for these jobs or get these jobs and then they don't stay for their contract? I just don't understand that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So Simone Sanders is she's gearing for the job, even though she's saying, well, I'm loving my life. I just got engaged. And, even if they offered it to me, I wouldn't want the job. So, I'm living my life. Psychology.
So hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the War Zone. I hope everything is going great for you so far. If you can do us a favor and share this live so everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation, we would greatly appreciate it. So just a little bit more in the news. Elon Musk made an announcement that he will not be taking Bitcoin for Tesla, and Bitcoin tanked to about $10,000, I guess, dollars. And so I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that was a mighty blow to the cryptocurrency community, but we'll see what happens. Seems like Elon Musk is becoming some sort of a kingmaker in the cryptocurrency world, and so I don't know what that means exactly. And I also just wanted to touch upon Donovan saying people not wanting to go back to work. I don't blame them for not wanting to go back to work. I wouldn't go back to work for minimum wage either. There's a lot of businesses now that cannot open because they do not have employees to work, but they're now offering bonuses and, all kind of stuff for them to come back. So it's like you did have the money. Al and I went out to a restaurant this weekend, and there were two people working because they just didn't have people to show up. So people are blaming the, unemployment and the stimulus check and all that. But we got to remember, it's not the American people's fault that this pandemic happened. And yeah, sure, if you're getting a lot of money to stay home, why would you go to work for $7.25 an hour? That's what it is in Texas. Why would you do that? It makes no economical sense. And so a lot of people are just saying we're not going back to work regardless, screwing over the machine. If you read history, Karl Marx and Frederick Engels prophesied this in the Communist Manifesto and said that the people will rise up against the machine. The machine is the ones that the very rich, the bourgeoisie, the ones that owns the means to production. And so now they're at a standstill. And so anyway, yes, we are going to start off with that of Simone Sanders. As you guys might or may not know, Simone Sanders was the communication director for the Biden campaign, not the administration, Biden campaign. And she was, as Donovan said, very Well, we're learning now. We didn't know that then, but we're learning that she was, as they said, stung and hurt. And in fact, Bakari Sellers, her friend and a political analyst and lawyer, in addition to her fiance, said the following. These moments, because he was saying basically she took a lot of bullets, now not literally, but figuratively, took a lot of bullets, and including when she jumped on the stage to tackle a protester that was going toward Biden, and she put her body on the line. Another incident he's talking about is when she went, I guess, verbally toe-to-toe with Uncle Luke. You guys remember when Uncle Luke, Campbell of the Two Live Crew, took Kamala Harris to task and saying, you know, you are going to have to explain why your record on crime is worse than that of Trump, who was supposed to be this horrible person, right? But now, you know, Uncle Luke is friends with her and he loves her. I think he does still. But anyway, so Simone Sanders told him, or in regard to that, Uncle Luke is not a political strategist. And why are black men always giving their unsolicited opinion? So she took a lot of heat behind that. And so Bakari said the following. He said, these moments were not few and far between. They would send Simone out to take those bullets. And then to be passed over, that hurt. Sanders' fiance, Sean Townsend, director of Nightlife and Culture DC, echoed Sellers' sentiments, telling the Post that his wife-to-be was definitely hopeful that she would have the opportunity to become press secretary. As you guys know, Jen Psaki has that position now, and she is not going to stay. But, you know, they felt like, you know, the Biden administration dogged her out and not giving it. But, you know, the reason why we're talking about it, because ordinarily it wouldn't be a big deal, but it's a big deal because, you know, and admittedly, Simone Sanders is 31 years old, and she was the youngest press secretary to work on a national campaign, and that was that of Bernie Sanders at the age of 25. She's young, but she did not only, I don't think she took bullets. I think she took a butt kicking behind throwing her people under the bus for white supremacy and Jim Crow Joe, even when he went on to the Breakfast Club and said, if you're having a hard time deciding between me and Trump, you ain't black. She went out on Twitter and said, oh, he was joking, and oh, Joe Biden has been there for black people. And so those are the bullets that they're talking about. But she got her N-word wake-up moment, if you will, and that white supremacy don't love you. They actually gave her Kamala Harris's the job to be her spokesperson, her senior advisor spokesperson. But you guys know Kamala ain't gonna let nobody talk for her. So basically, she's the kitchen help. So, Gary?
Well, they reminded OJ in the end. Why not remind her? See, these people get out here and they suck up to these people. You bring them, you ride them through our neighborhoods, bring them to our churches, all this here. Joe ain't the only one that did a black person wrong. But I don't think he did her wrong. I think she got just what she deserved. So, you know, bottom line, you know, Simone, I mean, you learned a valuable lesson. And that lesson is simple. Don't get your black card revoked. Don't get your black card revoked because we watching. We listening. You see what I'm saying? We watching and we listening. So, you know, I don't feel sorry for her. I think she got exactly what she deserved, and a whole bunch more of them gonna get what they deserve.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to agree with that. Africa Diaspora Network says, wouldn't living wages be the solution to getting people back to work? And I agree with that because it wouldn't be an issue of the government or federal government. This goes to show you that there's a problem with the wages in the United States where people would rather take the supplement, the federal supplement, versus going back. So until these bootlickers address a living and workable wage, I think it's always going to be a problem. And I don't blame anybody. If you're going to game that system, get it for all you can. Because I'm still mad because I didn't get a stimulus. I didn't qualify. So I'm mad about that. But, you know, in regards to Simone, I mean, it's just so telling how we see all of these black bootlicks from, what's her name? Manigault, whatever her name is. Everybody's going to bow down to Trump. I mean, they all try to come back to the black community and they all, what's her, Marisol or whatever her name is? Omarosa, yeah. Marisol, whatever her name is. Omarosa. They all try to come back, you know, to the black community after their butter biscuits go dry or whatever the situation is with them. And yet you see all these examples of how these people get ostracized by our community. And there's always another one of us that will come up and take their place and think that they can do it better. But I'm gonna do it one better for both of you guys. For both of you guys. The 5 Stars been saying this for years. Demetria, you've been saying this for years. We told these people when the primary started what the Biden administration was going to do and how they were going to do it. Now it's come to fruition, and you don't hear nary a one of a Biden supporter saying anything. Where did you guys go? Around the corner? I mean, where are these people at? I mean, it's almost like a dead zone. Even Simone Sanders, when she didn't get that position, she went quiet, very quiet. And now, because there's probably an opportunity for her to sneak in and get the press secretary job over guilt. I'm sorry, like we talked about earlier, there is no way. Like I said, I think she's an attractive young woman, and she's natural. There is no way a racist is going to let a black woman be the face of the White House. And just like Robin says, watch that this thing goes to an Asian or Hispanic. So, and why wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm looking at Carmen's comment. How you doing? And he says Simone Sanders is old enough to learn her lesson and young enough to change her behavior. She had to learn that. No one could tell her anything now. She knows. Yeah, she just was really talking down to black people. And it's like, girl, you seem to be, highly intelligent, but you know how this plays out. You know that white supremacy uses you up or uses black people up. And then they discard them once they get what they want from them. So it's like you're hurt. Why are you hurt? Did you really think Massa loved you so much? And did you really buy the hype that Kamala, the first black vice president, all that? You thought she loved you too. You thought she was gonna look out for you. Hell, she didn't even look out for the black women here in California that could have taken her seat as the senator. And now because she amen the Hispanic to get it, there are no black women in the Senate. Kamala, and I know you guys will say she's not black, but she says she was. But let's just go with that for a second.
Yeah, this week she is.
Right. So she was, the only black woman in the Senate. And instead of, there was 3 women in California that could have done the job as a senator, and she didn't go to bat for them. She went to bat for somebody else, a Hispanic male. And so the fact that she didn't do that for the senators in California, why would she do it for Simone Sanders? Like I said, Simone Sanders is Kamala's spokesperson, but often Kamala speaks more than Joe Biden does. So when is Simone Sanders supposed to go in there and speak for Kamala? But I think people should also look back at history. Step and Fetch It. You guys look it up. Step and Fetch It is a prime example of that. He allowed white people to fashion him into what they called the laziest man in the world. And he walked around, he was slow, couldn't read, he could, but he was playing a character that just the most, right? And white people loved it. And they made him the first millionaire black actor in America, okay? And then years and years later, he became an alcoholic, and black people didn't want anything to do with him. He died broke and alone and an alcoholic because he sold his soul to white people. So she knew better.
Well, that's when you get your black card revoked. That's when you get your black card revoked. See, I'm going to tell you something, man. I could be out here being who I am. And Lord knows I could sell y'all out in a heartbeat. But I got so much love for you that I'd rather just stay regular old Gary Monroe than to buy into what these folks are selling. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather just be able to kick it with you, drink a Budweiser with you, you know what I'm talking about? Drink a Budweiser with you, smoke a cigarette at the club with you, than to be the Negro getting invited to all the fancy parties when I know in all actuality they don't even want me there. So, Simone Sanders is a prime example of what's wrong with black America. You trying to check folks for something Joe said, and then Joe just going and boo-boo in your face. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you should expect. That's what comes with that game. See, these are not public servants. None of these people. They're politicians. It's a big difference when you think about it. So the step and fetch it, the ones in your city, the ones in my city, they all the same, man. They come from the elite class of Negroes that Malcolm called the professional Negro. That's what he called. And they don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about me. They only give a damn about themselves. So now today she in her feelings. Little mama, what you need to do is go get you a baby wipe your face, and sit your black ass down.
Yeah, and that's true though. If she wants to really start feeling better about herself, then start speaking up for Black issues and mean it. I mean, these people go out and they go sell their book, they make their money, but notice that when they try to come back, they never come back apologetic. They never come back and say, I made a mistake. They never come back and ask for our forgiveness or anything. They just expect hey, I'm here. What up, dog? I'm at the party. But man, you were just over here selling everybody out. And I know we don't like to talk about this, but this is what's wrong with feminism in the Black community. Now, like I said, I said this on my podcast, and I know maybe some ladies might get upset at this, but like Demetra and I talked about it, and trust me, Demetra she be supporting the sisters, okay? So I don't want you guys to think that she don't. But you guys got to understand, feminism in the Black community, it does not mean the same thing in the white community. Feminism in the Black community means I don't need no man. No man can tell me anything. And Simone Sanders has basically, in my opinion, from the stuff I've read about her, stuff I've seen about her, she has jumped onto that ideologue. I don't need no man to tell me nothing. You can kind of tell she probably runs the show in her relationship, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that if that's how it rolls. But in the white community, feminism doesn't mean that. When a white woman talks about she wants equal pay, here's a white, think about this, you guys. This is white people who already have the money. The white woman is saying, I want to make just as much money to you as you to bring it back into our fold. But they're not getting rid of their man. Have you guys noticed this? Only in the Black culture does feminism mean I don't need no man. Name me another culture where they're talking about they don't need no man.
Well, yeah, so feminism, Black women got caught up into the feminist movement. Black women were used as a body count for the feminist movement to help white women, right? Even if you think back during the suffrage movement in the early 1900s, white women were mad that because Black men could vote back then. And they were mad that Black men had the right to vote and they didn't have the right to vote. So they saw race as a thing. And then, of course, we move into the 1960s where the feminist movement, caught hold and meant something else, right? They used Black women, and Black women, for whatever reason, thought that we needed to divorce our man, completely be without them. When, women were just trying to be, white women rather, were trying to be heard by their white man, to get Brad's attention. But the memo that Black women did not get is when that white woman, was done marching in the streets, she went home to cook Brad a casserole. Okay, she was playing feminist from 9 to 5, and she stayed with her man. But Black women took it literal and thought, well, I don't need my man. But then, the other part of that too is we have to concede the fact that Black women never really had their man, even in slavery. Like if she had a man, she didn't have a man because he or she could be sold. And there was always that division and contention taught to Black men and women. And so we got better at it, during Jim Crow and up into the civil rights movement when feminism came into play. And so Shahar Azad Ali said that the problem with Black women is we try to judge our man by the standards that the white woman judges her man. And we can't do that because the Black man and the white man don't have the same set of circumstances. The white man doesn't have systemic and institutional racism and having to worry about being murdered by the police and, getting felonies on him and can't work and all of that. But the Black man does have that. Now, I'm not saying it's all the system's fault, but, that's a large part of why, Black men are operating the way they are and the way they were. And so, yeah, feminism was never for Black women, and we need to get rid of that. Now, I am not a feminist, but I do believe that women should have equal pay and be treated with respect and all of that. That doesn't make me a feminist. It just makes me think, well, yeah, I believe in equalities to some things, but I also concede the fact that there's things that women can't do that men can do. There's things that women shouldn't do that men should do. So, I guess I'm a traditionalist in that way, but I just think we need to understand where the roots of feminism, because a lot of times it's just really misapplied.
Real quick, Andre Davis says, if you are Black in politics, you speak for Black people, period. Now, I'm going to have to disagree with you. And here's why. Black politicians speak for the Democratic Party. Joy Reid on MSNBC and all these people, they speak for the Democratic Party. Al Sharpton used to speak for Black people, but then he got his butter biscuit. He speaks for the Democratic Party. So I'm just going to challenge you, Andra, because that's a great question or a statement. It's a great statement. So you're saying that what Jim Clyburn said, that we don't need qualified immunity, he's speaking for Black people? 5-star, what do you think?
I disagree with her too, man. I just know they don't speak for me. That a lot of these cats out here, 98% of them do not speak for me. These people are wearing Democratic hoods on their heads, but under the hood is Republican values. They will side with the enemy in a heartbeat, and whoever the enemy may be, it doesn't have to be a Republican. It can be somebody totally different. These people don't work in our best interest. I'm sorry, they just don't. And you guys are going to have to accept that. You can keep believing these old Negro spirituals when they coming around, when it's time to vote, how they work for you, how they do this for you. But at the same time, you walk out your house at the wrong time and get your head blowed off because the violence is crazy. Then what can you say? You see what I'm saying? You walk out your house and your neighborhood got a bunch of trash in it. Okay, so they speaking for us, but are they working for us? They not speaking for me, and they don't work for me. I don't like them. They know I don't, and ain't none of them gonna say nothing. You gonna play with somebody else? Don't play with me. I'm just that angry right now because you walk around like you have our interests at heart, and you people don't do nothing for our community. No, I totally disagree.
So she's saying too that she says, I'm speaking for those who mean well. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
But who means well? Which one means well? Name me one.
Well, I was just kind of clarifying what she was speaking on, what she was trying to clarify. And so she says, I speak for Black people. I'm running for 2022, my city council. My best interest will be my people. Well, I hope that is the case. And I'm not saying it's not, Andra. And please don't take this the wrong way. I'm not speaking of you, but we hear that a lot. We hear that a lot with our people, especially who say, once I get in there, I'm going to help my people. It's going to be for my people. And then they start to pass the little white envelopes. There you go. Can you, take care of that for me?
If y'all have been following on Facebook, you can see some of the things that's going on in Houston with politics, man. I mean, my good friend Aubrey Taylor writes a digital newspaper every day, Business Connection. And the thing is when you start reading some of these articles, who in the hell do these people work for? You look at some of the stuff they getting caught up in and the stuff that they doing, they spending far more time being crooks than they'll ever be trying to, fix our communities. So no, I don't, and it's no knock to Andrew. I mean, maybe you may be a great politician, but if you're a great politician, that means you're going to be in bed with them. If you keep being a public servant, then you ain't got to worry about that because the money and the influence that comes with the position will never stroke your ego to the point that you will do anything to hurt your community.
Well,
let me finish my point, y'all. So what I mean by that, with the white envelope is that, and you said that you heard that today about the white envelope. So you guys know that it does exist, that's when these lobbyists and different people come along, developers or whoever come along, and you might have a good heart and you're in it for the people, but you know, most city council, they don't pay a big salary. You know, it's a meager salary, and most people on the city council still have to work. And so when you start getting those white envelopes that have a lot of, you know, zeros behind it, go ahead and pass that and build that. And, you know, I know your people want this, but, you know, get them next time. After a while, you like, well, shit, this is some good ass money. You know, you mean I could quit my job if I continue to take the little white envelope? And so, unfortunately, a lot of people, they go in with a good heart, but the money, it just speaks loudly than their intentions do. So,
yeah, let me give you a real story, word of caution. Now, a person like me, because I want to work for my people, I could never be elected because I give it to them straight with no chaser, whatever. I'm very popular in what I do. People know who I am. I'm very feared, whatever. That's great in my community. But let me tell you something about that white envelope. The biggest FBI bribe of a public official happened in my city. As a matter of fact, the city manager in my city was making more than the president of the United States. This city official that got busted through the FBI was given a white envelope. Demetri, how much was it? $2.3 million. All of a sudden had a heart attack, supposedly. Couldn't go to jail. He didn't want to go to the big penthouse. So they gave him 5 years and he went to the Club Fed. And it's real. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I think everybody has good intentions. We have a city council member right now. She doesn't get the white envelope, but somehow she gets these designer purses and all this stuff. And I mean, all of our contractors in the city that I live in is all Hispanic, and they're related or good friends with a city council member. How does that work?
Let me say something. And, you know, I got to be 100 with it. And Demetri, Donovan, put your seatbelt on. Dr. Matthews, how you doing this evening? I'm going to question you and ask you, and it's better from a friend than from a stranger. Got mad love for you. Are you getting the white envelope? I want to ask because you are the accountability chair of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats. There's a lot of things that's going on with black politicians in this city, and you're not calling them out. So my question is, from a community standpoint, your community has reached out to me. Are you getting a white envelope? I'm not doing this to embarrass you. See, this is me. Because no matter if you're a politician, a grassroots organizer, I'm going to make sure you stay on code in this game. I'm going to make sure. Because not just politicians, they buying off everybody to keep black folk quiet, man. They buying off everybody to keep black folk quiet, man. And Demetri, you're in the city. I mean, welcome to hell. You can't say I lied before you got here. It's a piece of work down here in Houston. You know, so I mean, you got all kinds of stuff going on. You got a good state representative like Sean Theory, who doesn't have a lot of money. Does not have a lot of money. And then you got a politician, allegedly, like Harold Dutton, who's fighting to get people to take her out of her seat. You know, do we play politics? Are the good ones in there and they're trying to get them out because they don't want to play the white envelope game? You know, I'm just asking, and I'm asking you, my sister, because it came to me. I don't mess with the North Side like Tom. I got love for them, but it's some bullshit going on over there, and I need you to call these people out. And by the way, I'm not writing no letters. I'm not following the protocol of the politicians. I'm asking you right here.
Well, she says no. She says she's not getting a white envelope, and she says I get my own coins. And how you doing, by the way, Dr. Matthews? So yeah, I mean, it happens. What do I say? Name suspect politicians, black politicians. Well, you know, there's a lot of it. You know,
don't do that for him. Don't do that for him. Me and you and Donovan name suspect politicians every night. Y'all know who they is. Why don't y'all call them out? Why we always got to be the bad guy?
Yeah, well, and I don't, Errol, and how you doing, by the way? So I don't know if you're saying Dutton and who else. I don't know if you're meaning like, well, Dutton and you don't believe there's anybody else. I don't know. I don't know really a lot about Houston politics just yet. Still getting acclimated and all of that. So I wouldn't be able to speak on that. But let's say that these politicians aren't corrupt, right? Let's say they don't do bad stuff. But what about the Black politicians that go and don't do anything specifically for Black people? Can we at least like meet in the middle on that and say, well, if we as Black people elect Black officials, because in our mind, we're just kind of connecting the dots, like, okay, I'm Black, they're Black, I elect them, they do stuff for Black people, and they don't, does that kind of make it problematic? I mean, I would think that it would, because we know they have the power to do stuff, because they do stuff for everybody else except for their own people. But again, I always say it, it's our fault. It's our fault that we allow them to do it. We keep voting them back in for whatever reason. And so while there might not be a lot of them out there that's openly committing bad, crimes or whatever, they're not helping their people. So
yeah, well, here in my city, we had a lady who she jumped on the platform of, I'm against warehouses. I'm from the streets. I was born and I was raised here. Her name was Dr. Carla Thornton. And come to find out, the week before the election, I helped dig it out. And I had her on my show. I literally had her on my show to give her some feedback and stuff, to give her some cover. And, I asked her straight in the question, looked me right in my eye. I said, hey, are you getting a white envelope from the developer who owns the city, right? She told me no. Week before the election, come to find out, she was, once the disclosure of the financing disclosure form came out, right there on the thing was the disclosure from the developer. She knew that a lot of the people who voted by mail, which is the majority of our city votes by mail, absentee, because everybody's a commuter here, it was too late for them to rescind their vote or to go, revote again or whatever. And she got in the office, right? And I'm just saying this woman was a professor. She was an Air Force veteran. I mean, all the stuff. But and then her excuse was, I'm a single mother. What the hell you being a single mother has to do with you being corrupted? Okay, she takes the money, right? This lady was 43 years old. She dropped dead like 4 months ago, out of the blue. So, you're going to get it one way or the other. I mean, it's a cold game. Politics is a very cold game. So I always warn people, you better be sure when you get into this, you know what you're doing. And it's a cold game on both sides. It isn't just Democrat. It's the Republicans. It's the whole system.
Gary, Dr. Matthews said add her to the show. And then YouTube says there's a lot of buffering. I'm looking at it on Facebook. I don't see any buffering. So it might just be a YouTube thing. So hopefully that will stop soon. And our apologies for that.
Okay, well, I'll add it to the show after I make this comment. You made a good point, D. You made a good point about the politicians that might be good that are not doing anything. For example, we got a lot of Houston politicians down in Austin fighting a lot of bills, and that's what they should be doing down there, to get good bills, passed to help, people in general. But mostly, if you're down there and you're saying you're pro-Black, then get some bills passed for the Black community. One bill that I'm infatuated with is the George Floyd Act. But I mean, why is it so much compromising? Why is it not standing? I'd rather for you to fight for the bill and lose than to go in there and gut the bill and not have what you really need. If you wavering on qualified immunity as a Black politician, then we don't need you. We just don't need you. And I know a lot of politicians watch this show. I know a lot of judges watch this show. Say, man, if y'all ain't fighting for us, man, I swear with everything in my fiber, I'm gonna fight to get you out of office. I'm gonna fight like my life depended on it to get you out of office, man. Because some of y'all ain't worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? We got a county attorney, Christian Menifee, say, man, you're good people on the inside, I guess. But you fighting everything except for the people that need to be dealt with. You won't bring up the issue with a crooked politician and funding to take their ass to court, but you seem to find money to fight everything else that don't help our community. So I'm not feeling that. And those that don't get it, it is what it is, man. We tired. We are tired. Demetra just getting to Houston, but give her a year or two, she gonna be tired too. Because man, it's hard for people to walk out their house without getting murdered. And ain't nobody coming up with a viable plan to deal with it. So what y'all really doing, man? You know, I got love for Robert Williams. I got love for Ron Reynolds, fighting like tooth and nail. But some of y'all will compromise in a heartbeat, just like James Clyburn. You'll bow down, tuck your tail, and won't say nothing. You won't say nothing. So the ones that have the ability and they're not using it, they're worse than the ones that just flat out don't say, I'm just not going to do it. That's how I feel. Let me add this young lady.
Yes. You know, and that's my question. Where are the unapologetic Black politicians? Where are they? I mean, down in Houston, you know, the one that Jerry likes a lot, I like him too. You know, he's unapologetic, but I'm talking about on the national level. Where are unapologetic politicians that ain't taking the bullshit? They're just going to say what it is and be, Rodney Ellis, yeah, and be done with it. Where are those guys? We always got these people talk about, I'm a progressive, and then they cave to Nancy Pelosi. What are you caving for? There's a 13 vote difference between running any legislation in the House. So if you've got 13 people that aren't, the 14 people that are on your side, you shouldn't have a problem. Either your thing gets passed or nothing gets passed. I think everybody's on a par for that. You know, if you're not going to do nothing for Blacks, then don't do nothing for Asians. If you're not going to do nothing for Blacks and Asians, then don't do nothing for illegals. You know, what's wrong with that? No, we have these guys, well, you know, they're going to try to explain it to us like we're fucking children. A lot of us have been to college. You know, I don't have to go to school to see that this group got something, this group got something, and this group got something, and then all of the Black politicians are silent.
They are silent, and they're silent all over the country. They're silent all over the country. Hold on a second. They are silent all over the country, and I'm sick of it. I'm not finna sit here. I'm not finna play the game. I don't want to go to their party. I don't want to kick it with them. I don't want to take no pictures with them. I just need you to do your job. And if we ain't gonna be who we need to be and call these goddamn people out, then our community will continue to look the same. It will continue to look the same. You know, I get it. But let me ask y'all a question. We get out here, we marching, we singing, all that shit in reference to violence.
Go back and look at.
Man, let's be honest. Ain't none of that gonna stop the violence. Then when it's time for somebody to help get a program to develop to try to deal with the violence, we go give it to a pastor. Well, the dudes you need to be talking to don't church. But yet we keep doing that, and we want to applaud these people for these meaningful acts that are not doing anything to help us. They're not doing anything to help us. I see the doctors on here. What's going on, young lady?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey.
I'm glad because there's some things that are going on that are manifesting, and a lot of things right now are allegations, but some of the things are not allegations. And the public wants to know, you know, you go around with this accountability sticker on your head, you know, that it's over your head. You miss accountability. Why will you not call some goddamn politicians out?
Okay, first of all, I'm only one person. It is so many issues that we have to tackle. That's one. Two, the same folk that's running around here running their mouth, why don't you come and join the committee so we can mobilize? Why don't we do that? The same people running their mouth. I ain't seen you down there at the Capitol fighting with us, with me, Robert Williams, Ron Reynolds, Coretta Brown, and Brian Middleton, and what's her name? Roxanne Dorsey. I mean, it's a lot of us down there. And I don't see now none of y'all asses down there. So my thing is, how you gonna fix your mouth and you ain't over here doing nothing. If you gonna do anything, why don't you come and join the fight with us instead of over here running your dick suckers? How about that? Because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, excuse my language, because I just have to be straight up about this. You understand what I'm saying? I'm only one person. I can only do so much, right? Then on top of that, we have certain policies. We have certain procedural things that are in place. I can't sit over here and go tackle somebody and I'm only going on hearsay. I have to have facts. I have to have a complaint. I have to have documentation. So when I go before them, I can nail them right in that corner. But I can't do that by myself. So those of you that's complaining, join the accountability committee with us. Because I can't do all of it, y'all. I can't do it all. Because
well, I will say this, that I'm a member of the Texas Coalition. I'm a member. And God knows, before accountability ever came up in this city, I was holding motherfuckers accountable with my eyes closed. Why hasn't the coalition asked Gary Monroe to join the accountability team? You know why? Because they don't want me to join. They don't want me to uncover this on these people, man. That's the way that I feel. And I just feel like
I really don't know that part, Gary.
The accountability side of the Texas Coalition, when I look at Gary Monroe in the morning in the mirror, I don't have to be a member if I got to hold them accountable. I ain't going through all that red tape.
You notice what you said, Gary? You said in this city, right? I'm not just Houston. I'm over the entire state. So that means we got 254 counties that I have to tackle. So my thing is, we need people to come and help instead of running your mouth. Because I'm going to say this again. I seen you in Austin, Gary. I seen Robert Williams in Austin. And guess what? We all are self-financed. The coalition ain't paying for me. Because y'all forgot, I got several businesses. I get my coins, boo. When I'm on the toilet, I'm making money. So that's how I can wear the fabulous nails. That's how I can wear the top-notch hair. That's how I can wear all of the stuff that I do, because I make my coins. I don't need to get envelopes for these politicians, because guess what? I make my coins. That's why you can't control me. Because that's why I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to do it the way I'm going to do it. And that's the end of that. But again, like I said, I'm over the whole state of Texas. That's 254 counties. Like, what you think the hell I've been doing? I was in Beaumont. I was in Galveston County. I've been in Austin. I've been in Waco. I've been all over the place. But again, we do got some foolishness that's happening in Houston, especially in the north side of Houston. I need some of them north side people come over here, come help me then. Instead of running your mouth. Come help. Come join. Ain't number $50.
Well, I tell you this here, and then I'll pass this over to D, that if you know it's some bullshiggity going on the north side of Houston, my question again, why ain't you calling it out?
How can I call something out and there's a lawsuit with it? Coalition don't get involved when there's a lawsuit in it. You see what I'm saying? If anything that's dealing with a lawsuit, the coalition cannot get involved. We have to sit on the sidelines when it comes to that. So the bullshit that I'm talking about, is some lawsuits that's involved with that. So we have to sit on the sidelines and watch. However, we will have a legislative scorecard, which I'm working on right now as we speak. And we're going to give that to everybody in the community. So you can see exactly the legislator who you put in office, you'll see what they voted for. You're going to be able to see all of that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to say this again. For those of the people that's watching, that are bumping your mouth, get on the battleground with us. Get on the battleground with us. Because there's only so much Gary can do. It's only so much Donovan can do. It's only so much Demetra K can do. Because we can sit up here and be bumping this all day long. But when we mobilize as a people and get these corrupted people up out of here, that's how you make change. That's how you can be a change agent. You can't be a change agent bumping your mouth and ain't doing nothing.
Well,
right now, if you ain't doing nothing, you can't tell me nothing.
Well, I tell you this here, you're right. I went to Austin, and I went to Austin with one other person, Donovan and Demetra, and I keep a scorecard too. And the coalition and all the heavyweights against Monroe and a few more, and we got them voter integrity laws passed. So how many wins we getting on the other side for black people? Because we got to get some wins sooner or later. We got to get some wins, man. And I don't think we getting them. I think that people are just out here placating, they faking, and they doing what they need to do. And my thing, and I know right now, Demetra and Donovan, ain't no Democrats gonna support me. You think I give a damn? No, because I care about the people. I'm in it for the people, Demetra.
Yeah, I mean, and how you doing once again, Dr. Matthews?
Hey, Demetra.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we should all be in it for the people. We are the people. And, you know, and like Dr. Matthews said, there's a lot of people who aren't going to do anything, you know, besides criticize and, you know, tell you how you should do something better. They have not gotten in the fight. Me personally, I'm not really one to go to like the capitals and stuff. I've been before, but I'd rather, you know, do it this way just to, you know, wake people up and educate people. But there's some people who are.
You're right about that though, because let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. And Gary, I'm sure, because see, Gary, I'm sure you agree with me with this too. First of all, everybody has a part to play in this fight. Demetra may not be the person to go to the state capitol. Demetra may be the person to go to city council. Demetra may be the person to bring everything with the grassroots. Donovan may be the person who would probably go to the White House. Gary Monroe can probably fit every last one of them. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to take all of us to make the change, but we can't make the change fighting each other. That's exactly what they want you to do. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, now me and Gary, we may not agree on everything, but we do have a level of respect for each other, right? And the thing is, I may not agree with some of his tactics. I think some of his shit he doing be funny as hell, but that's all right though. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I know he's doing it for the reason that he's doing it, and he's doing it for the people. You know what I'm saying? Because see, when I go and testify like he did, I go and testify numerous times at the Capitol, and I let their ass know, y'all work for us. We don't work for you. Because it's your job to do for the people and by the people. And that legislative scorecard gonna tell the tale, because I'm gonna make sure everybody gonna get it, and I'm gonna blast your ass. And that right there is a statewide thing. So again, like I say, don't sit up here talking and you not doing no work. Because Gary, I know it's several stuff that you've done and you was doing it by your damn self. It's several shit that I done, but y'all want to criticize shit that I do, but I don't see your ass out here on the planning committee. I don't see you out here doing nothing. So don't sit up here and run your mouth on, and see, that's why our black people got a problem. Our black people got a problem with that. I'm not finna sit up here and go in on Gary Monroe because he was in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Gary Monroe wasn't going in on me when I was in Minnesota. You see what I'm saying? We were there for the same purpose, but we was in two different areas.
But see, Dr. Matthews, and by the way, I love the bonnet, by the way. You know, being in California, you in a mansion, so I was just checking that little spot out as you were walking. So good for you. Good for you. But here's the thing, you know, and I always say this. It's good to have different groups and everybody disagree. We don't have to agree on everything because everybody has their point. You know what I mean? Like I'm out here in California fighting a different issue because I'm about the money. I could care less about anything else. I'm about my community and the money. I don't care whatever's going on. And you're doing what you're going to do. But the good thing about what we do here, and I want everybody out there that's listening to understand this, regardless of our disagreement, because me and Demetra don't agree all the time. We got to stay on code. As Black people, the point is we all got to stay on code, regardless of if we don't agree on a certain sect. But I'm going to let Dr. Matthews do her thing because she's going to fight from that angle. I'm going to fight from my angle. Gary's going to fight from his angle. But Dr. Matthews, my question to you is this. Why is it that you think what's going on there, and specifically in Houston, why is everybody just so apathetic to what's going on when the facts are right there in their face?
See, I'm gonna tell you like this here. The way how I look at this, okay, wait a minute. Repeat that question again, because I want to make sure that I answer this.
Yeah. Why are the people in Houston, specifically Houston there, so apathetic to what is going on in regards to the community in Houston?
And I'm gonna tell you like this, and I believe somebody said it earlier, is that when you keep voting the wrong people in office just based on name recognition, and then you're thinking you're going to get change and you're not, that's insanity, correct? That's just like doing the same thing over and over again and think you're going to get different results. You see what I'm saying? And so the accountability committee, we've only been in operation not even 2 years yet, right? So this time we're going to have all the data. So this time when it comes to endorsements, and I've also worked with other organizations that's within this area when it comes to dealing to accountability. So if the Texas Coalition not going to endorse you, 9 times out of 10, they not going to endorse you either. Because guess what? I'm going to give them the data too. See, that's what I'm saying. We all got to mobilize. We all got to network together. But at the same time, y'all can't come at me jumping on me about a Harold Dutton situation, because guess what? That's a lawsuit going on with that. We can't touch that. You see what I'm saying? But what I can touch is what he voted on, and let you know what he voted on and what he didn't vote on.
Well, without the scorecard right now, Mr. Dutton has created a firestorm with some of the votes that he's been a part of and some of the things that he's been a part of. Harold Dutton
Yes.
is somebody that I respect, but the one thing about me is if you start not working for the people, the respect gonna go out the window, and he can get it just like anybody else. So there's a firestorm going on with the uh with the transgender issue that was brought up, like he did it in retaliation. There's a firestorm going on with the bills pertaining to education. So without going into all of that, what would be his grade right now?
At this point right now, Mr. Monroe, it really don't look good. And the reason why I say that is because, we're looking at the bill that you voted on dealing with the gun bill. We're looking at that bill that got shot down on the floor. You understand what I'm saying? And then on top of that, now you done got the LGBT community upset. You done got the teachers union upset. Then you done turn around. You done got Black Lives Matter. They all done posted up at your office. But see, the thing about that is that, again, only thing that we can do is provide the legislative scorecard and give it to the community and let the community be the one to make the decision on how they're doing it. Now, as far as what the
You're a part of the community. You would have to vote on that scorecard. So I'm just
no, we don't. No. That's not what I'm saying.
if you give him a grade right now, without all the extra dialogue, from an A to an F, what would you give State Representative Harold Dutton right now?
Right now, the way how that's looking, it'll probably be a D minus right now. And I'm just going just like right now. That's with me not having just absolutely just a raw score. That's what it would be right now. A raw score with no other evidence, just based on those main issues right there.
What would your score be on County Commissioner Rodney Ellis?
County Commissioner Rodney Ellis, to be honest, I need to come back and revisit that one because I have not really been in that because I've been in Austin. So I want
I just want to let you know why you've been in Austin. That stolen art is still in my neighborhood.
Oh, Lord. Well, like I said, I can't get involved with them with a lawsuit.
If I had to grade them, Demetri and Donovan, Ellis would get an F. Dutton would get an F. Jackson Lee would get an F. Ron Reynolds would get an A. Because I've seen him. I've been there with him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just call a spade a spade. Because I don't see the work in our community.
Ron Reynolds is good. Ron Reynolds is really good. Ron is really good. Really, really good. And
the county judge would get a C from me. Lena Hidalgo.
Okay, but let me ask you.
The mayor would get an F minus.
Can I ask you this?
+2 to the second power.
Let me ask you this, Gary. What about Devin? You just made me lose my train of thought because I'm over here laughing at you. What would be Okay, come back to me because I just you throw me off because I'm up here laughing at you because I just thought about something when you said that. So go ahead. I'll be back.
So it's kind of hard to really deal with it. But like Errol Jones said, what kind of community keeps him in office for 40 damn years with no capable person available to replace him? Demetria, what do you think?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Errol Jones says, what kind of community keeps a man in office for 40 damn years with no one capable of replacing him?
A community that's politically immature and like symbolism.
Right on. Yeah, you right on that, Demetri. I agree with you.
Let me ask you a question. Now, we keep them in office, but then some of them got to come out of office. So the good doctor, I want to ask you, and this is a straight up question, and I'm going to tell you before you answer it, I already heard you answer. So if Dutton is coming out the seat, who are y'all putting in the seat?
We're not putting nobody in no seat. That's not how we do. What I'm looking for, though, is for him to be primaried, is what I'm looking for based on that, based on conversations that I've heard from community members, that he gonna get primaried. Now, I heard that. So I'm just curious as to who's gonna do it.
Well, I'm kind of nervous about him being primary because the last time he was primary, they had people running against him that didn't exist.
You know what? I'm drinking.
So, one of these ghost candidates mess around and win, then what we gonna do then?
Okay, this is my opinion. If he gets primary, I think it has to be somebody that the community knows, because you got to keep in mind he is in a unique area. So it has to be, in my opinion, I think it needs to be a woman, and it needs to be a Black woman to take him out. And it's somebody that the community that will already know, and it's somebody that I think it has to be somebody that the community already knows. And again,
you ever told anybody that person would be Kim Ogg?
Kim Ogg don't live over there.
That's what I thought.
Kim Ogg don't live over there.
I think that side of town needs some great representation. It's a beautiful side of town.
It is.
But when they do what they need to do, and it's a beautiful side of town, you got great educational institutions over there that need to be taken care of from a different standpoint. And I'm just, Donovan and Demetri, I'm just telling y'all, man, I ride this town. I love my people. I go everywhere. And what I'm seeing right now is not something that I'm happy about, because they don't have to do more than pass out some goddamn masks and some waters to impress me.
But you know what, though? I like what Alma Allen did. I don't know if you saw when they killed that build on the House floor. Alma Allen was not playing. They was battling to the death on the House floor about that education bill.
Tell her to go battle over there on West Orm, where you tear your goddamn car up trying to come down the street, like I did the other day on West Orm. That's our goddamn neighborhood.
But I thought that deals with the city.
Shit, I mean, the city, whoever.
It's the city, not the state rep, Gary.
Okay, well, here's a problem with the state reps. 4 years ago, there was some information in the election, and they stuck it in there, and they never really did anything or talked about it. Now that legislation, that particular whatever they wanted, that they wanted people to vote on, has come back to sting the city. What am I talking about? I'm talking about that I-45 expansion that's finna put a bunch of people out their houses, and they're gonna be homeless. So state reps push this, and now even the mayor pushed this, and now everybody acting like somebody tricked them. No, y'all put that on there. Y'all were at the polls telling people to vote for that stuff, and you knew the whole time that it would make thousands of people homeless. This is what I'm talking about calling these folk out, man.
Mm-hmm.
They did that. They did that, and now these people finna be homeless.
Dang, that's crazy. That's why, like I said, we need people on the accountability committee so we can broaden this committee so we can tackle every issue, because it's a lot, y'all. Like 2021 is like a revamp of 2020.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, Dr. Matthews. Now, what kind of people are you looking to do that? Because it seems the people that are in my generation, you know, we're done. I mean, we're corrupted or whatever. We're doing our own thing, whatever. You know, the boomers they're way past done. Teenagers like yourself, you know, where y'all going to get them?
See, my thing is, I'm just going to raise the awareness. Every time I hear a complaint, come join the fight. So that complaint that you over here bumping your mouth about, you come over here and help us to make change.
Well, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat.
Here we go.
Put you in the hot seat. It's been proven. The county attorney admitted it. I got it recorded. What's your grade for Tasha Jackson, who shouldn't be sitting in that seat on that north side of town?
I'm gonna say this again. Anything that's dealing with a lawsuit, we can't get
involved. Lawsuit with that?
It is a lawsuit with that, sir. Yes, it is.
Ma'am, it's no lawsuit with that.
Yes, it is.
They refused to file a lawsuit.
I'm gonna say this again, Mr. Monroe. It is a lawsuit, and the coalition cannot get involved or touch it. We cannot. We have to sit back and watch how that's gonna play out. That's the only thing with our organization. Anything that's just like when they had those other races and those lawsuits were involved with that, we cannot get involved.
Right. But Dr. Matthews, though, but okay, look how many lawsuits has the former President Trump's been in, and look how long they can make these lawsuits last out and out and out. And I understand, and I understand what you're saying about you can't get involved. But if I'm a litigant, I could continue this and continue it as long as I've got enough money and people to support me. I could be in litigation for years before anything.
It is part of our bylaws. You understand what I'm saying? So it's only so much that we can do when it comes to that. You understand what I'm saying? Just like I have a lot of people that call me on a whole lot of things, but a lot of the stuff that they calling me on, you know, is a certain criteria that the coalition jumps on with. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you talking about you want to sue a school district? We can't get involved with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you got an issue with a board member or something like that, you bring your documentation. Don't just be over here just telling me what you think, telling me what you feel. We need a complaint letter and we need the documentation to substantiate what you're saying. Because one thing that we're not going to do, we're not going to go out there jumping butt naked on some hearsay. Just like when we went down there to Galveston, we had a smoking gun. We had a video. That man's rights was violated because he was beaten with handcuffs. You see what I'm saying? Just like when I was in Beaumont, the Speaker of the House is from Beaumont. We were addressing about bills that we feel that this is on our agenda. That's why we held the press conference there. You see what I'm saying? And we did a joint one with NAACP, with the state NAACP. So again, it's only certain avenues how this goes, but at the same time, that's just like, okay, if somebody got a problem, okay, I'm gonna give you a prime example. Let's say we got some problem, somebody got a problem with, they got an issue because they getting put out their house because you ain't paid your rent. The coalition ain't finna get involved with that shit. There need to be an activist, a real life activist like Gary Monroe that can get in and deal with that. The coalition ain't finna deal with that. Now, let's say like we have a situation that's a systemic situation that's dealing with this CPS, where you got a kid assaulting another kid that could have been de-escalated. We finna get involved with that because we got a video to verify. You see what I'm saying? So that's what people have to be able to understand, because I had people send me stuff talking about we need our road fixed. Baby, that goes to send me the complaint, send me the pictures, and I'm going to send it directly to your city council. You see what I'm saying? But you can't give me something. You can't sit over here and do this, but you don't got no documentation. We had another situation, which I got to give Senator Miles his credit on this one. We had a situation where one of his constituents, they were saying that this was before they got the District B city councilman. The man had video of hobos doing drugs in this empty parking lot. They was having sex out there. They was doing all kind of stuff. And then he was saying that what he wanted was a gate to go around it, right? So when I was able to go to Senator Miles, I'm not going to go on no hearsay. Here's the video. Here is what is requested with this letter. And here's the person that owned the property. We need a gate up there. That was up there in less than 2 days.
But that's confusing to me because that's not a state issue.
At the time, they
like,
did not have
they get
Gary,
whatever issues they choose to deal with. And
what I'm telling you, Gary,
the biggest
they did not have a city councilman
the biggest
at the time.
Houston is corrupt politicians and nobody calling these cocksuckers out.
Listen what I'm telling you. And I'm saying this in this defense because it was not a city councilman at that time. So by not being a city councilman at that time, I immediately got in touch with him. And I was like, look, here's the problem. Here's the letter. This is one of your constituents. Here's this information. See, now they got a city councilman over there. So now if you got any bumps in the roads or whatever you got going on, give me the documentation, give me the complaint letter, and I'm going to get it to your city councilman.
Well, this is my last question to you.
All right.
Tell me if I get this wrong. It's called the Coalition for Black Democrats. Am I correct?
Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, sir.
Texas Coalition of Black Democrats. Why do they keep endorsing white candidates?
You know what? I have no idea. That I would have to get back to you on that. You threw me off with that one, Gary.
I mean, they're endorsing white candidates over black candidates.
Well, guess what? The LGBTQ community, they will endorse a straight candidate before a gay one.
But I don't understand how you can call yourself the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats and then endorse a white candidate over a qualified black one.
You call yourself LGBTQ community and you will endorse a straight person before you endorse a gay person.
Demetra?
I mean, no, I'm just listening. I mean, I think that's a great question. You know, why are you endorsing, not you per se, Dr. Matthews, but an organization that's supposed to be for Black people? I mean, it's just reminiscent of the NAACP and the Black Congressional Caucus and all the other Black organizations that have the word Black in it, but then they advocate for everybody else but Black people. But again, that's our fault. That's our fault. We keep falling for it and thinking that these organizations are servicing Black people, but they're not. They're actually servicing everybody. But and you know, I guess for us as Black people, we'll realize that when we are completely left without anything, right? In any resources or you know, like we already have no voices really in politics. I mean, we really don't. You know, there's a few, but they're not as loud as the people who, you know, are in and they advocate for everybody else. And so, yeah, I mean, our organizations, and I hate to use the word "are" because we know they're not really our organizations anymore, if they ever were. Just like that of Black Lives Matter. It's not a Black organization. It has the word Black in it, but it's gotten the ball moved for everybody else but Black people. And so, yeah, I think that's a great question.
But then also, and like I said, I put that question to the LGBTQ caucus. I put that to the Latino caucus because they also endorse African Americans as well.
I think the difference, though, Candace, is while they do endorse other people, they endorse themselves as well. You know what I mean? And so
he endorsed Black people too, though.
But I think when they endorse, they actually move the ball for their people. So they don't like not move the ball for their people and endorse other people. They like, okay, we got all of our ducks in a row. We got our people where we want to go. We got the ball moving for our people or our, you know, whatever, LGBTQ. Now we can go out and endorse other people. So they don't give away the farm before they make sure everybody and their people are partaking of the farm.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, because I've been to several of them. Because as far as dealing with, because I'm a member of the LGBTQ one. I'm a member of the Latino, the Tejano one. But
why?
I've seen them endorse Black people before they endorse their people too. So I think it's just based on, and I'm just speaking off the top of my head. I think it's based on whatever race it is and who's going against that specific person.
Well,
So like
well,
you have a white person with the coalition, and you don't have a Black person that's running in that specific race, but it's a white person that's a Democrat. So they're going to support that Democrat. And I've actually seen them do that. You know what I'm saying? But I have not seen them as far as like, okay, we turn around, we have 2 Democrats, 1 white and 1 Black, and they're going to turn around and support the Black candidate, or they're going to support the white one. I guess it's all dependent upon that race. And I've seen that with the LGBTQ one, because let's go back to the Kim Ogg race. LGBTQ didn't even endorse her. They didn't, and she is part of their community, and they didn't endorse her at all. They endorsed Carvana and Audia. But the coalition, we turn around, we endorse Kim. So I guess it's based on the races, it's based on the experience, it's based on how they do with the endorsement. I mean, that's just what it is. Unless, and Gary, you seen this when it get to the floor, and it all depends on the members if they turn around and they strike on the floor.
Yeah, well, I can say here in California, the Hispanics only vote and endorse other candidates if they have a platform that supports illegal immigration, dreamers, and stuff like that. If you don't have that platform, they're not even going to even consider you, but they make sure that their ducks are in a row first. But when it comes to, let's say, a candidate that's between a Black person and a white person, they go with the person that is pro-immigration, pro-Hispanic, pro-this. I mean, they could care less about anything else. But again, you know, like what Dimitri was saying, they make sure that the candidate is going to cape for them just as much as if it was a Hispanic candidate.
But they did, I know they do have questions in the endorsement screening as far as to what is your platform to help African Americans? They do ask that. If you're not African American, that is a question that they do ask. So again, that's something that I would need to bring up. And that's a really good question. So I would definitely bring that up. I didn't really look at it like
Let them know that the OG is running for school board, and ain't nobody more qualified than me in none of the races. None of them. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it a different way. So I'm talking about candidates. There's nobody sitting on the school board more qualified than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect to get that endorsement because I'm only screening with certain organizations. And tell them I'm coming in now and I'm ready to go. Please give me some tough questions, because when it comes to education, I've mastered it all.
Gary, I have a question for you. So originally you endorsed Kim Ogg, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And then you're not feeling her so much now. What happened?
I'm not either.
It's the things that she's done since she's gotten reelected. The dragging the feet on the Goins case. You see what I'm saying? Getting caught up in a couple of these scandals, not filing the pro Warranto lawsuit.
What about Senate Bill
Jackson? So
Bill
I will give you my endorsement based on what I've seen you done, what I've seen you do in the past. Now, once you get in and you don't do it, I'm not waiting 4 years to cut your ass up. I'm gonna cut you up right now. So no, I'm not feeling Kim, and that's what it is. You quick to prosecute one of us, but you will not prosecute these political criminals that are running around here violating the law on a daily basis.
Let me taste good. Well, I got an issue with the Senate Bill 21 because she should have spoke on Ron Reynolds' bill. I'm just saying. Brian Middleton was there.
What's Senate Bill 21 for the people that's out there?
Senate Bill 21, basically it's a bill that's by Ann Huffman. And with that bill, it has some disparities that deals with that's not for African Americans and brown people, right? And her explanation was that the reason why she spoke on the bill was in reference to, let's say, like you have people that are repeat offenders, then they shouldn't receive a bond, right? And I agree with that ideology, But clearly she didn't read the whole bill. Because if she did, she wouldn't have spoke on it. She would have been in Austin with us, speaking on the bill that Ron Reynolds had that fit the ideology that she wanted.
Well, let me ask you a question, because I know there's some people out there want to know. You've been in Austin almost all legislative season. Can you name one black politician that has put a bill on the floor directly just for black people? Because I'm tired of being lumped in with everybody else. I'm tired of being lumped in with the Latinos. I'm tired of being lumped in with the LGBTQ. Who done took a bill to the floor that's just for the Negroes?
Ron Reynolds, Tony Rose. Hold on, wait a minute.
See that name keep coming up, Donovan Ron Reynolds.
Wait a minute, there's another one. Who is that? Senator Miles did one.
What was his bill?
The one that was banning the chokeholds. That was one.
Ain't that supposed to be inside the George Floyd Act?
But he did one outside of the George Floyd Act. Another thing, let me ask you this. What is your opinion on having a black sheriff to replace Ed Gonzalez?
Well, first of all, we need to make sure we get a qualified candidate. I
got one.
Well, my candidate, without a shadow of a doubt, is Grady Castleberry.
Yes.
That's who I'm going to stand up for. And I'm going to stand up for Grady for a lot of reasons, because I've seen this youngster at 14, 15 years old not be a very good football player, work his behind off, and do everything he needed to do. Throughout his whole police career, that's what he's done. He started at the bottom. He's worked his behind off. There's never been an issue with him. But more importantly, you know, it's time to have a black sheriff. We've had everything else. Everybody's had what they wanted. So can we have a black sheriff for a change? And more importantly, he is more qualified than anybody that's going to sit up there, and he's going to be fair, and he's going to do what he do. Grady Castleberry is my man.
I'm going to say this here. Now, this is something that me and Mr. Monroe agree on for real, for real. Okay? Because that is exactly who we want. We want him. The commissioner's court need to go ahead, because Harris County has not have a black sheriff.
But here's my thing, and I need y'all other two to chime in on this here. To me, it's not about a black sheriff. Yeah, Grady's black. We would love to have a black sheriff. We need to make sure we get somebody that's qualified. Castleberry is qualified.
Yes, he is.
So it's not, to me, they can say, well, you just placating for him because he's black. No, I'm placating for him because I know he qualified.
And he black.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Saying that when they had a Latino, nobody was crying when they had a Latino fire chief, a Latino superintendent, a Latino police chief, and a Latino sheriff all at the same time.
Yeah, but here's the thing, you know, here in LA, we had after the Rodney King riots and stuff, they brought in this Willie Williams, a brother, right? Nothing changed. Nothing changed. You know, the bad cops are still in there. Matter of fact, it got worse because that's where the Rampart division started, you know, taking the drugs out of the evidence locker and selling it. You brought the gang members in, all that other stuff. So I don't think it's an aspect of, you know, having a black sheriff. But if you do have one, what is he going to do in regards to rooting the bad cops out of the department? And that's what I'm saying, or making fundamental change. That's one thing we got to have, is make sure that they do something in regards to fundamental change within the culture of the sheriff's department. Demetra?
Yeah, I believe he's going to do that because he's coming directly. He's a captain currently in the sheriff's office. And I believe that he's going to do it. I believe because he is overqualified. We have his resume. We checked him out. I checked out his police record and everything. Clean record. I had a meeting with this guy as well too. He's the best qualified for that position. Bottom line. And he's not afraid of accountability. He already has a plan in place with what he wants to do to better Harris County. And it ain't just no all talk. Like, he has a plan. You see what I'm saying? And then this is somebody that's been in Harris County. This is somebody that knows.
Harris County will not be better until we do a full extermination of the current mayor and Commissioner Rodney Ellis, Commissioner Adrian Garcia. They need to go.
Why you got my husband laughing over here?
Cause he know I'm telling the truth.
He laughing.
Well, final thoughts, Ms. Demetri.
My final thoughts is, it's been very educational, I would say. And so, yeah, for sure. Let's do this again. Let's have Dr. Matthews on more often.
Yeah. My final thoughts is, you guys, Tuesday, we were out and about a little bit. Before we go, Jerry, please tell us about the video and stuff like that before we get out of here. But I just want to say that, Jerry's still running for school board. Hit the Cash App, Jerry Monroe. Hit Cash App, $5, $10, $20. Y'all got y'all stimulus check. Y'all about to be forced to go back to work. So y'all Negroes, you're gonna have your check. You're gonna be employed. Because Biden said so. So go ahead and hit that Cash App so we can get qualified candidates in the position we need to get them. Because what we have ain't working. That's all I got.
Well, I tell y'all what, man. We went into the lab last night. Me and one of the greatest rappers I've ever seen in my life, K Reno, and we did the song "Make 'Em Mad" for the election run, and I sent it to a few people, and I'm gonna tell you something. It's on fire. That's all I can tell you. It's on fire. The video shoot is June 12th. We're gonna start in front of Yates, and I'm telling you now, "Make 'Em Mad" is serious because I'm gonna be sitting in the middle of that street on that Black Lives Matter paint, playing dominoes with my partner, Eric Carr, and I'm going to flip that table over because I'm finna make you mad. And we going to have a ball. My man, Mr. Scarface, already say he coming. One of the most the dude that trained most of the DJs in the city, my man, Darryl Scott, a legend, he going to make an appearance. He coming. My people's pulling out the cars. They coming, man. So with the song is on fire, and I'm gonna do something for y'all. I'm gonna unleash it tonight on Facebook. I'm gonna unleash the song tonight on Facebook.
Oh, I want to hear it.
So Demetri heard it. What's your opinion, D?
It's fired. It's really dope.
Okay, Gary, release it because I want to hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna release it, and I want to tell everybody, and I always say this every night. Thank you for investing in my campaign. Because an investment in me is an investment in our children. I know I'm not the perfect guy. I know that I'm very, very passionate, but our children need a fighting shot. Every kid needs a fighting shot. You see what I'm saying? We got to give them the basic fundamentals so that they can survive when they're out there on their own. And that's all I want to do as a school board rep. I don't want to go in there to take pictures. I don't want to go in there to go to parties, which I probably will never do. The only thing I want to do is work for children. That's it. So I want to thank y'all for taking time out. And even my people on Clubhouse. If you got an Android, you can go to Clubhouse now, man. I be having 5-star conversations in there. And we really get down to some things, man. We didn't even infiltrated old Walter in the Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? Walter over there in Clubhouse now with us, having these 5-star conversations. So, I tell you what, man, June 12th, we're going to set it on fire. But tonight, I'm going to unleash the song, and I'm going to put it out there. I want y'all honest opinions because I'm on there with one of the greatest rappers they ever do it, K Reno. And all we going to do is make them mad. That's it.
I'll say something, Gary. You know what? I had them laughing. We was laughing about you at the cigar bar yesterday because them people at the cigar bar, they love them some Gary Monroe. And
I love them too.
We was talking about, I'm talking about the one I go to that's on 1960.
Mm-hmm.
And so they was laughing when you bust up that Christmas party.
Oh yeah, when they were having a half-naked Christmas party in the school. Yeah, we can't have that going on in the educational environment.
Hey, when Gary was showing that, y'all, I'm still laughing at it because they had the little Asian lady backing it up, doing splits and shit. and Gary was just going in. And so they still laughing about that at the cigar bar. They was like that. They say they call him the 5-star general. They was like that MF is funny and he is crazy, but he keep it real. That's what they were saying on yesterday.
But man, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back tomorrow with some realness because our man Walter is gonna be in the building. We talking money tomorrow night. And if you have never seen him or heard him, you need to sit there and you need to suck up the game. I mean, God bless him for what he do because he don't have to do it, but he comes and he helps us out on Thursday night. So, just remember that. And for all my Yates lines and Demetrius, you and Al, y'all my invited guests. Donovan, you can come on down. July 3rd, us Yates Lions going to BH Ranch for a summer bash. The only way the Crimson and Gold can do it, you don't want to miss this because this is gonna be off the chain.
Oh Lord.
Sale tickets $15. From what I understand, pre-sale tickets $15, $20 at the door. I mean, come on with it, man, because we going hard in the paint on that day.
But can I ask you this, Gary? Are you going to the George Floyd event that they having at Jack Yates?
Nope. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, they've taken a man and they politicized it. They're using him for their own political gain, and I don't agree with it. And, I'm not going to be a disruption, but I'm not going to attend. I honor George in my way, and that's something I need everybody to understand. When I go to Minnesota, I'm working for George, but I do it in my way, and I don't want nothing from it. I don't want to. I do T-shirts, y'all. I've not sold one T-shirt with that man's name or his picture on it. I don't have that in my heart. And I just feel like they're using him right now. Everybody's using George, and they should stop that. That's my honest opinion.
Well, I'm not going either. I just had to ask him that, Donovan. I had to ask him because I figured that he wasn't going to go, but I had to ask him that because I wanted him to tell me that he wasn't going.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
I didn't go to the last one. So I tell y'all what, man, we gonna sign up out of this piece, and we're gonna do this again tomorrow with my man Walter, and then we'll get ready for Free Throw Fridays, and we're gonna have a ball, man. But thank y'all, and I speak that for all of us. Thank y'all for taking the time out to come and hang out with us. And I know it get a little wild some nights on the yak when I'm on that yak, But Demetra be drunk too. She be on that wine. Her and Al be over there on that wine. So, it is what it is. Until tomorrow night, y'all. Until tomorrow night, we'll holler at you.